joining me now is my guy, Mike Reiss from ESPN. Good to see you, my man.
Great to be with you, Steve.
Last week was voluntary. This week,
mandatory. Got to be there.
Got to be there. No ifs, ands, or buts. You got to show up. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Overall big picture.
Yeah.
What'd you take away from just the OTAs?
The spring, we've seen 3 practices. We've seen the rookies, Steve, and I think the identity of the team is clear. When you watch them practice, when you listen to them talk, the Patriots are going to be about effort and finish. So when I talk about that, Steve, you watch them practice.
Right.
They're running through the end zone. They're not cutting off. They're running around the cone.
Effort and finish.
Those are 2 buzzwords, I would say. And then I would say ball security and ball disruption. Those are, sort of buzzwords in football. Yep. But they want to get the ball out, and they want to take care of the ball. And I would say just sort of like details, like technique, fundamentals, just trying to drill down on the real finer points so you have a smarter football team.
Well, you mentioned the word smarter, and we all know Drake May is a smart player. Yeah. How quickly is he picking up Josh McDaniels' offense?
So it's a work in progress. Okay. I feel like it's gotten a little bit better. You heard in Dan's package that he had 4 interceptions in the first week, and it got better after that. I think, to me, Steve, I take you right on the practice field. I thought this was so interesting last week. Mike Vrabel lines up the entire offense along the goal line, and he says, Drake, call it out. What do you got? And he has Drake call out the cadence that he wants, and when they got to go, they all start sprinting. And what that was to me was, it was putting Drake in a position of leadership, Steve.
Yep, I like that.
Say, hey, you better call it out so they can hear you over here, they can hear you over here,
like that.
And everyone's got to hear, because if they leave early, we're running it again. And they want to be tight, they want to be crisp on the fundamentals. And so I think, to me, it's like, yeah, he's learning Josh's system, but he's also becoming sort of the leader.
Yeah.
And they're putting him in position to be that leader.
Son, you're not a rookie anymore. Yeah, now you got to step up. Now you got to play. Speaking of rookies, though.
Yeah.
What rookies are standing out? All
right, Will Campbell, Steve, first-round pick, wire-to-wire, left tackle. From the first practice we've seen, Will Campbell has been there. It's hard to sort of be able to say he's been a stud because they're not in pads. Right. So, but I would say
he looks apart.
On the first day of training camp in July, when they're out there, I expect him to be the left tackle. Travion Henderson, the running back, we'll get into him. Looks fast. And I would say Kyle Williams, the 3rd-round pick, wide receiver. On the outside, making some plays down the field, Steve. So you put him out there. You got Stefon Diggs in the slot, maybe, or working on the inside part of the field. Pop Douglas in there working on the inside. You can see the picture coming together a little bit.
You mentioned Stefon Diggs, okay? Yeah. And here's where I want to go with this.
Yeah.
Coming off that ACL.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He looks pretty good out there, doesn't he? I mean, he's looking like he's not running with a brace or anything like that. He looked like he was making cuts just fine.
I thought so, Steve.
Ahead of schedule?
And I would say, I mean, I don't know the schedule, but they say ahead of schedule, Steve, but the analogy I would make, and this is a little dangerous, 2007, when Randy Moss was here, and I am not comparing Stefon Diggs to Randy Moss. No, no, no. Don't put that in a headline.
I got
not comparing Stefon Diggs to Randy Moss. But I am comparing this. When I watched Randy Moss in practice, I said, oh, that guy looks different from every other guy that's running routes for this team. And that's what I felt like I saw the other day. I'm like, this guy's at another level, Steve, even coming back from the knee. And if he can stay healthy, it's just hard for me to believe that he won't help him. And if he can stay out of the headlines, I mean, we should probably mention that because that's part of the spring, too.
Stay off the boats. Yeah. Stay off the boats. All right, let's stick with the offense because I want to talk about this running back situation.
Yes.
Okay. Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
His job is safe?
So it is safe, Steve, but you can't sit here and talk about team identity and talk about ball security and ball disruption and say that he's, like that they're just going to hand it to him.
Right.
He's got to show that he can protect the ball. Right, 7 fumbles last year, led the league, and he even mentioned that, Steve, when we talked to him. He said he knows.
He knows.
But I will say he has got a lot of fans among the coaching staff that believe he can do it and that he's a very good running back, and complemented by Travion Henderson, the rookie. When we were talking about the rookies, 2nd-round pick out of Ohio State, who's like a James White 3rd-down back, but with a lot more speed and explosiveness. They got the potential for a dynamic 1-2 punch there, in my view.
Give me a surprise name that fans may not expect.
All right, Steve, you're going to have to hose me down a little bit because I get excited watching him.
This is great.
Efton Chisholm III out of Eastern Washington, a wide receiver, Efton Chisholm III out of Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Steve, same school that Cooper Kupp came out of.
Okay.
And again, I'm not comparing him to Cooper Kupp. Not in the headline. No, not doing that. But when I watch him run routes, he's shifty. He's got this spatial awareness. And there was, last week, Steve, we're watching pass, Efton Chisholm catch, pass, Efton Chisholm catch, pass, Efton Chisholm catch. You're thinking to yourself, what's going on here? Like, this guy's got a real chance. If this happens when the pads come on, it's the spring.
They only keep it 6.
I know.
They're going to keep a guy like Efton?
If you're telling me right now, Mike, make out your roster,
you'd have
he's my 6th receiver.
Really?
Let's go. Let's do it, Steve. Why not? It's June.
Remember the name. Efton Chisholm III.
From Eastern Washington. Let's go. It's a lot of fun.
I love that. I absolutely love that. All right. What should we expect going forward?
Yeah.
Okay, because now this mandatory mini camp, some announcements may be made. What's going on?
So they always do this. So you got 3 days of mandatory minicamp. They might cancel the final one if Mike Vrabel feels like it goes well. So let's find out. When will the induction for the Patriots Hall of Fame be with Julian Edelman and Bill Parcells going in? Usually we find out for the planning on that. They got a statue for Tom Brady. When will they do that? Maybe we hear something about that coming up. And then, of course, we want everyone to be able to plan their summers. You want to be there for the first day of training camp. You find out when the first practice will be, maybe July 24th, July 25th, somewhere in that range. So I think we'll get sort of, they'll wrap up the spring, and then we'll get sort of a look ahead to some things to look forward to in the fall and the summer.
Great stuff.
Steve, I love it. How's your cadence as a quarterback? Did you have a good one when you were there?
Everybody was on the same page, Mike.
They were.
Everybody was on the same page.
Love it.
Nobody jump off sides. Nobody.
Let's go.
Sometimes we're silent.
Silence. Yeah. Gotta go.
Gotta go, Mikey.
Let's go, Steve.
All right.